Hey everyone, Matt again in this episode of Meet the Expert. We're with Tom again of Core Physical Therapy. We'll wait a second for people to jump on. When you jump on or you watch this later, don't forget to like our post, share this with friends, and for the people that are members of our studio, Tom will be back on Saturday at 10:15, and he will be doing a workshop on glute activation and core stabilization. So today we're talking about posture. A lot of people that, in today's world sit at a desk or at a computer, so their posture kind of gets messed up, So let's first talk about, what two types of posture are.
So basically with posture, we have two types. We have active and inactive posture.
Okay.
So inactive posture, that's pretty much when you're sleeping, when you're resting, you have no muscle activation, you're just relaxing.
Okay.
So today we're going to be more concerned with active posture. And really of active posture, we have two different types of active posture. We have basically the kind where you're moving, so that would be dynamic posture. And we also have static posture. While sitting at a desk, it relates more to static posture. So you're sitting, not really moving or doing much, but at the same time, you still want to involve a little bit of core muscle activation and really just set up your workspace appropriately so you're not putting any strain on your muscles, your body, your joints.
Okay. So what is good posture, for people to practice or to know even what that is?
Yeah. One of the hard things about good posture is, first of all, just achieving it. So often I feel like with life nowadays, as you mentioned, you spend a ton of time sitting in a car driving. You spend a ton of time sitting at a computer, if you have a desk job especially, sitting watching TV, sitting eating dinner. So
Texting on your phone.
Yeah. So we have so much of our time is spent in a seated position. So due to gravity, you're already going to end up having maybe tight pecs that cause everything to roll forward. Or you get tired, so you end up slouching and slumping. And then you're automatically fighting an uphill battle because you're trying to achieve good posture, but your muscles are so tight you can't even actively get into that posture.
Okay.
So first and foremost, if you're somebody who works at a computer or if you have a desk job, you want to set up your workstation appropriately. So that being, you don't want to have your head turned to the side and the keyboard maybe twisted over here, because if you're stuck typing like this for a while,
you want a straight line.
Yeah, it's going to automatically cause like an imbalance because you're already going to have your head turned. And if you work for 8 hours a day and you're sitting there for 4 straight hours, get up and go to the bathroom.
What about those desks that you can stand and sit? Are those good?
Yeah, I like anything that you can move your positioning or posture. Really, anytime you're in a prolonged position for an extended amount of time, it's not necessarily going to be good for your body unless you're actively sitting. So that's where that active static posture comes back into play. So ideally, you want to have your feet flat on the ground. If you have a chair that's adjustable, you want to be able to get it to where your feet are comfortably flat, and also move your hips all the way back to the back of the chair, which encourages you to sit up tall. Some of the nicer chairs. I know, that's why I always think about posture before I tell people about posture. But some of the chairs are really nice and fancy. They have lumbar support and all that fun stuff, which is good. But if you don't have that, an option is just to get a little lumbar pillow, or even just roll a towel up and put it there.
Okay.
Just to increase that curve in your low back. And really that towel isn't always there to physically help. It's more of like a cue. You lean back and you feel it, and it kind of tells you that you should sit up. Other things, the computer should be directly ahead of you. Your eyes basically in line with the screen. You don't want to have to strain your neck too much up or down. Arms resting comfortably on your armrests if you have them, and keyboard comfortably in front of you. So that's really the perfect setup.
I know a lot of people do I'm going to do work on an exercise ball. Does that help, hurt, really not make a difference? Or
it helps because it forces you to be active. So it forces you to use your muscles, but at the same time, you can still be lazily active. You can be active sitting there like this on a ball, which really isn't going to really do a whole lot for you. It's the same as sitting on a chair without activating your muscles.
So it's good if you're going to use it and keep your posture.
Yeah, it is. And really with sitting, it's difficult because the hard thing is you get busy at work. You start answering emails, you get phone calls. So usually one of the things I'll tell people is have that cue that's good for you and your job to remind you to sit up tall with good posture. So it's kind of like Pavlov with the bell and the dogs, and ring the bell, the dog salivates because it thinks it's getting food. Well, eventually you need to find something that is your bell. So if you're somebody who gets a lot of emails, every time you hear the ding on your computer, you fix your posture. And then 30 seconds later, you get busy and you forget and you slump back down, and then you hear another email.
Yeah.
Good. Or if you get a lot of text messages, or even if you just set a reminder, as annoying as it is, setting a reminder in your computer to pop up in the top of the screen every 5 minutes.
Now, what will good posture lead to? Like what can it help with?
Good posture, it's not as much as what it leads to, it's what it prevents.
Okay.
So good posture can prevent a lot of basically joint pain, muscle pain, strains, injuries. It really helps just even promote the way it looks. It looks good. People with poor posture have that slump feeling. And, you know, especially with a long day, 8-10 hour day, if you start off your day already in that hunched forward position, gravity itself is going to keep on pulling you down. So by the end of the day, your neck's going to be stiff and your shoulders are going to hurt and your back's sore. So really it's being cognizant and paying attention to it immediately. So it basically just works on preventing a lot of bad things and promoting a lot of really good things.
Now, what are some exercises people can do to kind of, if they see that they're having their shoulders fall forward, or what's some work that they can do at home or even at work to kind of work on that?
Yeah, so there's a couple of quick things that you can do at home, and that will lead to really just more benefits now and in the long term. The big thing is stretching out pecs. So many people, again, we have that concave, hunched forward posture, and especially all the guys at the gym, everyone wants to work chest, nobody ever wants to do back. And really you should have a 2-to-1 pulling to pushing ratio. So it's really stretching out those pec muscles, being able to achieve the ability to get your shoulders down and back. Again, when those pecs are tight, your shoulder rotates internally. You can pinch on some of the
so it's going to lead to shoulder pain and stuff like that.
So the big thing is just stretching out those pecs to allow your shoulder to get down and back. And then from that position, that's when you can work on strengthening some of those back muscles. So TheraBand rows, TRX rows, dumbbell rows, all that stuff is great. Now at work, you can't necessarily bust out your dumbbell or TRX. You can, but not everybody can. So one of my favorite things that I do, even throughout my day, is I'll do a W. So I'll basically come through here, and I'm just squeezing my shoulders down and back. So I'm trying to get a good pinch of my shoulder blades. And really all it does is it just wakes the muscles up. One of my favorite explanations or demonstrations would be when you start your car has to idle. So with posture, especially active sitting posture, you always want to have some level of activity. You don't have to sit at your keyboard flexed and everything stiff, but you want to be alert and aware. And then throughout your day, now if I'm working on a patient or if I'm typing notes, gravity does pull you down to that forward position. So if I feel like I'm starting to hunch a little bit, I'll just do maybe 4 or 5 of these, just squeezing my shoulder blades down and back. And then that's my posture reset. Now I'm good for the next 10, 15, 20 minutes until I feel like it's starting to shift again. And you fix it. So basically you're just revving the engine. You always want your car idling, the engine on, and then you're revving the engine, making sure the battery doesn't die on you, which is a lot better than if you were just to be passive and hang out like this all day. When you go to move and you try to strengthen or really even just flex those muscles, you have a difficult time because it's hard for your brain to even figure out how to do it versus keeping them on. Now the difficult part about that is then not only 1, being aware of having good posture, but 2, changing muscle tightness to be able to achieve good posture. And lastly, strengthening your body to be able to maintain good posture for an extended period of time. You know, even if it's just starting off with good posture for 5 minutes, some of those postural muscles might fatigue, and that's when you're going to gas out and then get tired. But that's really the key where you and I come in as far as helping people get stronger and just trying to expedite that process of strengthening postural muscles to allow for that posture to be good for really the majority of the day. One of the things I'll tell people too, and I think they are surprised when I tell them that they can cheat at the end of the day, is if you maintain good posture for the first 6 or 7 hours out of the day, you're just like anything, your muscles are going to start to fatigue and get tired. And then if you start to slump or slouch, or if you want to cross your legs and sit comfy, there's no problem with that because you worked so hard at the beginning of the day, you can cheat. It's kind of like you can have that cheat meal.
Recovery.
You just ran a little bit so you can have your ice cream before bed.
So a lot of great information today. If people want to, reach out to you or, they have more questions about this, what are some ways they can get in contact with you? Facebook?
Yep. We have our Facebook page. It's Core Physical Therapy in Fort Mill. Our telephone number, which is 803-630-5788. We also have our website, core-physical physical-therapy.com.
Another thing that Tom's starting to work on is golfing. Well, what are you doing with golf? I know a lot of people in Get Fit for Meal play golf and do that golf stuff.
Yeah, so I have my TPI certification. So it's from the Titleist Performance Institute. So basically it's to be a golf rehab specialist.
Okay.
So I'm kind of out of my scope to teach a golf swing. I'll let the golf pros deal with that. And that's really what they do best. But what I can do is I can work with a golfer basically who has back pain and say, all right, well, why does your back hurt? And we can assess his mobility, stability, his or hers mobility, stability, and try to figure out what exactly it is that's limiting them or what's causing pain, and then fix it. It's a great way to generate more power. You can add distance on your drives. You can get rid of pain.
Yeah.
Really, if you ask anybody who doesn't want to hit the golf ball farther, I don't know anybody that would raise their hand.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for Chase and Alyssa for commenting. Alyssa actually wrote that she loves the shoulder stretch.
Okay.
She's at a desk all day long, so that was some good information that we got. If you guys are jumping on watching this replay later, don't forget to like this. Invite your friends to Get Fit for Meals as we keep doing these different Facebook Lives. More people are getting the message. And if you're a Body by Brady member, remember Tom will be here Saturday at 10:15 going over glute activation and core stabilization. If someone watching this isn't a member of Body by Brady but would be interested in attending that workshop, send me a message. You can just private message me on Facebook, and we'll try to get you guys in here. You guys can check that out. We'll talk to everyone soon, and have a great day. Later.
Thanks, guys.